is unfolding following the announcement of the master plan for Bernard Lodge. This despite statements that no farmer will be denied access to their property. However, as Khadija Thomas reports, this isn't the situation on the ground.
While the Bernard Lodge master plan is the first of its kind to include residential, commercial, agriculture and agro-processing, controversy has plagued the proposed development from the start, the latest involving a young farmer who was denied access to his property.
Early to do some work on the farm. So while I'm coming towards my farm, I saw a white car, Pro Box, and also saw a person with a firearm, held a firearm towards the sky, walking, pacing back and forth. Right, so I was very hesitant to come forward to my own land because I don't know the person. I couldn't see the person. All I saw was a gun.
This is the security guard Mario is referring to. When our news team approached him, he advised that he was only acting on orders. Mario says he felt intimidated by the actions of the armed guard, who advised him that he was not allowed access to the 5-acre property where he and his brother plant vegetables and short-term tree crops, as there are just 3 names on record with access.
Did he give you the names of the persons that were on that list?
No. Actually, I asked him, but he didn't. He bypassed the question.
A letter dated December 9, 2019 from SCJ Holdings Operation Manager O'Neill Bailey states that SCJ Holdings has no objection to the land being irrigated or the lands being accessed. It's the same view expressed by Managing Director of SCJ Holdings, Joseph Shuker, last evening at a community sensitization meeting.
Anybody to be relocated will be allowed to reap their cash crops before relocation. If they have tree crops, they'll be paid for their tree crops. If they have structures, they'll be valued and they'll be paid for them.
This statement, however, appears to be out of step with reality. President of the Bernard Lodge Farmers Association, Michael Blake, says he will be intervening in the matter, which he has described as disturbing, and will be taking action.
This is totally unacceptable, and we will be seeking legal advice.
Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
Not a promise, but a commitment. That's how the Health Minister describes plans by the government to conduct major expansion to a number of hospitals and healthcare facilities in the country. More in this report with Christine Forbes.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says underinvestment in public health is the main reason for inefficiencies in the healthcare system. Tufton reveals that the ministry has created a capital expenditure plan that will see major expansion at a number of venues across the country.
We negotiated that we have 50 million US dollars from the IDE so far, another 10 million euros from the European Union as a grant to match the 50 million loan. And only 3 weeks ago, we signed a contract with the architectural firm.
He adds that a total of 3 to 3.5 billion will be used to expand the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine. But not only that, Tufton says his team also developed a 10-year strategic plan that will transform and create significant improvement in public health care.
It looks at the population, the growth rate of the population, the profile of the population, where the population exists in the country, and what needs to be done to expand healthcare infrastructure, to both focus on prevention, but also to build out infrastructure.
The minister is also encouraging Jamaicans to pay greater attention to the way in which their lifestyle affects their health and ways they can reduce the risk of becoming ill.
We will never build up hospitals or hospital beds if we continue to live recklessly and don't treat ourselves in a manner that promotes health and wellness. I'm telling you, no government.
The minister was speaking at a town hall meeting on the state of health in Spanish Town on Thursday.
Putting greater pressure on the government to update the Data Protection Act. The matter was being discussed during a Joint Select Committee meeting of Parliament on Thursday. Here is Christine Forbes.
According to the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Favour Williams, the recent data breach at Victoria Mutual Building Society Wealth Management made it clear that the present data breach penalties are a slap on the wrist. The minister says she was told by the financial institution that employees will go through more intense training. Williams also notes that Jamaica National Bank also admitted data mismanagement recently.
Information went to about 200 of their existing clients, and the Excel file had client information for 5,000 clients.
Based on the law that we're seeking to pass, what would be the consequence of such a situation?
Parliamentary Secretary Senator Robert Morgan says the data breach by the two financial institutions is evidence that the Data Protection Act must be reformed.
And I think it just brings into focus how important this piece of legislation is and how important it is that it is robust and holds data, persons who control people's data, holds them accountable for how they manage that data.
But from the proposal read by the Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, the new amendments are weaker than current penalties.
So what was originally there was that where a contravention or security breach is likely to affect a data subject, then you would need to report. But we've now amended or proposed an amendment that says where the breach poses a real risk of significant harm to the data subject. So
Minister Williams says she is confident that the government can access international assistance as it moves to make data holders accountable for data mismanagement. Christine Forbes, CVM Live.
When we return, tells Labourites as he gets ready for the by-election on March 2. Pernell Charles Jr. was joined by other JLP political representatives who made several references to an approaching general election and urged supporters not to be complacent on election day. Here is Christine Forbes.
In 10 days, the Jamaica Labour Party candidate for South East Clarendon, Pernell Charles Jr., will go head-to-head with independent candidate Derek Lambert in a by-election. Charles Jr., while touring sections of the constituency, tells residents he is committed to find solutions to the many problems they are experiencing. According to him, the former Member of Parliament for South East Clarendon, Rudyard Spencer, had advised him to take full control of the constituency as the JLP gets ready for the next general election.
I said, what does that mean? Him said, listen, is Charles in charge? That means you're in charge of the concerns of the people. You now in charge of the roads. Are you now in charge of getting them the water? Are you now in charge of getting them the jobs?
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southern, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, says the PNP acted out of fear by not allowing their candidate, Patricia Duncan Sutherland, to contest in the March 2 election.
If the lady that has been here for some 6 years decided to run against Pernell in this by-election, the backside of she would have get, boy, it would not only sink her political career, but boy, there will be no PNP to talk about by the time we call the next general election.
Charles says residents should not be content with the fact that the PNP will not take part in the by-election. Instead, he urges them to use the by-election to send a strong message to the opposition People's National Party.
We can't just win. We have to make a clear statement to Jamaica. This is a message we are sending that the Jamaica Labour Party is ready for the election coming.
Also present at the rally was Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries Floyd Green, who made it known that the Andrew Holness-led administration believes in creating opportunities for young people.
Him appoint Minister Xavier Main, a young man from St. Ann. Him appoint me from St. Elizabeth. Him look so, and him draw for Pernell, and him just get a chance to appoint a new minister. Him could appoint anybody, and him appoint young Matthew Samuda. We believe in young people.
Christine Forbes, CVM Live.
The Police Counter-Terrorism Organized Crime Investigative